Now, stationary wave. Stationary waves are also known as standing wave. We write condition for formation of stationary wave. First of all, we write condition for the stationary wave. Suppose there are two different simple harmonic progressive waves. These waves are identical. That is, waves have same amplitude. Waves have same time period. That means both waves have same frequency. Waves have same wavelength. Now frequency is same. Wavelength is also same. Therefore both waves have same velocity. Waves have same velocity. They are traveling through the same medium. But only difference is that both waves are traveling in a opposite direction. When such wave crosses same particle of medium, stationary waves are generated. Stationary wave, it is produced due to combination of two simple harmonic progressive waves. These waves are identical. Identical means what? Both waves have same amplitude. Waves have same time period. That means waves have same frequency. Waves have same wavelength. Now frequency is same, wavelength is same. That means both waves have same velocity. Both waves are traveling through the same medium. But only difference is that both waves are traveling through the same medium in opposite direction. When such wave crosses the same particle, stationary waves are generated. Now, we write equation of first wave. We write equation of first wave. First simple harmonic progressive wave, it is given by y1 it is equal to a sine twice pi n into t minus x upon lambda, and suppose this is equation number 1. In this equation number 1, twice pi into x upon lambda, that is k into x, where k it is known as propagation constant. This propagation constant has a negative sign in equation number 1, which indicates wave is traveling along positive x direction. Now we write equation of second simple harmonic progressive wave. Y2 it is equal to a sine twice pi n into t plus x upon lambda, and this is equation number 2. In equation number 2, propagation constant has a positive sign, and that indicates wave travel along negative x direction. Both waves are identical. Both waves have same amplitude. They have same frequency. they have same wavelength. That means both waves have same velocity and they are propagating in opposite direction. When such wave crosses the same particle, when such wave crosses same particle, then by the principle of superposition, by the principle of superposition, resultant displacement of particle, it is a vector sum of displacement produced by the each wave. Therefore, resultant displacement it is equal to y1 plus y2. Now, substituting value of y1 and y2 from above equation, we get resultant displacement a sine twice pi nt minus x upon lambda plus a sine twice pi nt plus x upon lambda. Now, we take a common and we use formula sin c plus sin d. We use trigonometric formula sin c plus sin d. Now expansion of this formula, it is equal to 2 sin c plus d upon 2 into cos of c minus d upon 2. By using this formula, here value of c it is equal to twice pi nt minus x upon lambda and value of d it is equal to twice pi nt plus x upon lambda. By using that formula, by using formula sin c plus sin d, we get 2 times a into sin of c plus d upon 2 twice pi common nt minus x upon lambda plus nt plus x upon lambda upon 2 into cos of twice pi nt minus x upon lambda plus nt c minus nt minus x upon lambda. Now if we solve bracket, then negative positive term gets cancelled. Here also negative positive term gets cancelled and therefore we get y it is equal to 2 times a into sin of twice pi upon 2 into nt, that is we get 2 times nt into cos of twice pi upon 2 into minus of 2 times x upon lambda. Now 2 gets cancelled. Therefore we get y it is equal to 2 times a into sin of twice pi nt in one bracket and cos of twice pi x upon lambda in second bracket. Cos of minus theta, using cos of minus theta it is equal to cos theta. Now above equation can be written as 2 times a cos of twice pi x upon lambda into sin of twice pi n into t. That is y it is equal to a into sin of twice pi nt, and in this way we get equation number 3. This equation 3, it is identical to the displacement of particle performing SHM, and therefore when two wave crosses the same particle, resultant motion of particle, it is a simple harmonic motion. The frequency of SHM it is equal to frequency of either wave. Now in equation 3, term k is absent. Equation 3, term k is absent. Therefore, wave is not propagating in either direction. And therefore, this wave, it is known as standing wave. This is the equation of standing wave. When stationary wave is generated, different loops are obtained. Now, suppose this is a string. And free end of string, it is vibrated in vertically upward and downward direction. Then transverse wave is produced on a string. This wave is reflected from the rear boundary. Now reflected wave travels in the opposite direction. Reflected wave, it is identical. And therefore, when these two waves process the same particle, stationary wave is generated. When stationary wave is generated, different loops are obtained. We can observe different loops are obtained on the string. When loops are obtained on the string, some particle vibrate with maximum amplitude. The particles which are vibrating with the maximum amplitude are known as antinode. Different antinodes are obtained. And some particle on the wave, they are permanently at rest position. Some particles are at rest position. All such particles are known as nodes. In figure, we can observe nodes. These are node particles which are vibrating with zero amplitude, or particles which are at rest position are known as node. In this way, node and antinodes are obtained. Now we calculate distance between two successive nodes and distance between two successive antinodes. Now we know resultant displacement of particle is given by formula A is equal to 2 times A cos of twice pi x upon lambda. This is formula for the amplitude. Antinode are obtained. For antinodes are the coils which are vibrating with maximum amplitude. The particles which are vibrating with maximum amplitude are known as antinode. Now, the resultant amplitude, it is given by formula 2 times A cos of twice pi x upon lambda. Now in this equation, 2A term, it is a constant, its value remains constant. Only variable term, it is equal to cos of twice pi x upon lambda. Then cos of twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to plus 1 or it is equal to minus 1. Amplitude, it is equal to plus twice A or minus twice A. That is, we get a maximum amplitude. Therefore, to obtain antinode, value of cos of theta, that is cos of twice pi x upon lambda, must be equal to either plus 1 or it must be equal to minus 1. Now we know cos of theta, it is equal to plus 1 or minus 1 if and only if twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 0 or pi, twice pi, 3 pi, 4 pi and so on. When twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 0 or pi or twice pi, 3 pi and so on, then cos of cos of twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to plus minus 1. And when it is equal to plus minus 1, A it is equal to plus minus twice A, that is antinode is obtained. Now first antinode. First antinode, it is obtained when twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 0. Now if we simplify this, then we get x is equal to 0. First antinode, it is obtained at a distance of x it is equal to 0. Now second antinode. For second antinode, twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to pi. Now here pi gets cancelled and we get x it is equal to lambda upon 2. That is second antinode is obtained where x it is equal to lambda upon 2. Now we calculate distance of third antinode. Twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to, suppose, twice pi. If we simplify this, then we get x is equal to lambda. This is distance of third antinode on a stationary wave from the origin. Similarly, fourth antinode, it is obtained when twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 3 pi. Pi gets cancelled and x it is equal to 3 lambda by 2. This is distance of fourth antinode from the origin of wave. Now we calculate distance between fourth and third antinode. Fourth antinode, it is obtained at a distance of 3 lambda by 2. And third antinode, it is obtained at a distance of lambda. Therefore, if we take subtraction, then we get 3 lambda minus twice lambda upon 2. Therefore, we get lambda upon 2. Now we calculate distance between third antinode and second antinode. Third antinode, it is obtained at a distance of lambda, and second antinode, it is obtained at a distance of lambda by 2. And therefore subtraction, it is equal to lambda by 2. Distance between third and second antinode, it is equal to lambda by 2. Similarly, we calculate distance between second antinode and first antinode. Second antinode, it is obtained at a distance of lambda by 2, and first antinode is obtained at a distance x it is equal to 0, and therefore subtraction, it is equal to lambda by 2. In each case, we observe successive antinodes are separated by distance lambda upon 2. Any two successive antinode in a stationary wave, they are separated by distance lambda by 2. In this way, distance between any two successive antinode, it is equal to lambda by 2. Now we calculate distance between two successive nodes. Now we calculate distance between two successive nodes. Node means particle which are vibrating with zero amplitude, or particle which are permanently at rest position. Amplitude, it is given by formula 2a cos of twice pi x upon lambda. Now we observe node means particle which is at rest position or amplitude of vibration for a node, it is equal to 0. Now we know value of 2a, it is not equal to 0. Therefore, value of a, it is equal to 0 if cos of twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 0. When cos of twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 0, a, it is equal to 0, and therefore load is obtained. Therefore, load is obtained if and only if cos of twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 0. Now cos of theta, it is equal to 0 if and only if theta, it is equal to 90 or 3 pi by 2 or 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, and so on. Therefore, now we calculate distance of first node from the origin. Therefore, twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to pi by 2. Pi gets cancelled, and therefore we get x is equal to lambda by 4. This is distance of first node from the origin of wave. Now we calculate distance of second node from the origin of wave. Twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 3 pi by 2, substituting. Pi gets cancelled, and therefore x it is equal to we get 3 lambda upon 4. This is distance of second node from the origin. Now we calculate distance of third node from the origin. We equate twice pi x upon lambda with 5 pi by 2. Now if we simplify, then we get x is equal to 5 lambda upon 4. Now we calculate distance of fourth node. Now twice pi x upon lambda, it is equal to 7 pi by 2. Pi gets cancelled, and we get x is equal to 7 lambda upon 4. In this way, we can calculate distance of any node from the origin of wave. Now we calculate distance between fourth node and third node. Fourth node, it is obtained at a distance of 7 lambda by 4. And third node, it is obtained at a distance of 5 lambda by 4. Therefore, distance between fourth node and third node, it is equal to subtraction of 2 terms. Now lambda by 4 is common, and therefore we get 5, 7 minus 5. That is, we get 2 lambda by 4, and therefore we get lambda upon 2. Now we calculate distance between third node and second node. Third node, it is obtained at a distance of 5 lambda by 4. Second node, it is obtained at a distance of 3 lambda by 4. Therefore, subtraction, it is equal to 2 times lambda by 4, and hence we get lambda by 2. Now we calculate distance between second node and first node. Second node, it is obtained at a distance of 3 lambda by 4. First node, it is obtained at a distance of lambda by 4. Therefore, we get once again lambda by 2. On simplification, we get lambda by 2. Therefore, we observe any two successive node on a stationary wave, they are separated by distance lambda by 2. Any two successive node on a stationary wave, they are separated by distance lambda by 2. In this way, distance between successive node, it is equal to lambda by 2. Now we calculate distance between node and antinode. We know first antinode. It is obtained at a distance x is equal to 0. And first node, it is obtained at a distance x is equal to lambda by 4. Therefore, distance between successive node and antinode, it is equal to lambda by 4. Any two successive node and antinode, they are separated by distance lambda by 4. If we calculate distance between any two successive node and antinode by using same procedure, then we observe it is equal to lambda by 4.